Zelensky threatens to neutralize Europe's longest bridge, claiming it is a legitimate military target. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky asserts that the Crimean Bridge is not civilian infrastructure but rather a crucial logistical route for Russia's military operations on the peninsula. He insists that Kiev has the right to target the bridge using any means necessary. The bridge, linking Crimea to mainland Russia over the Kerch Strait and the longest in Europe, suffered damage in an explosion on Monday. Moscow labeled it a Ukrainian terrorist attack, which resulted in the deaths of a couple and serious injuries to their 14-year-old daughter, who was traveling in the same car. During an interview at the Aspen Security Forum in Washington, D.C. on Friday, CNN's Fareed Zakaria asked Zelensky if destroying the bridge completely was Kiev's short-term objective. The Ukrainian leader responded by stating that the bridge is considered an enemy facility, constructed outside the boundaries of international laws and norms. He emphasized that their objective is to neutralize any target that brings war instead of peace. Zelensky further expressed that Kiev's ultimate goal is to reclaim all of Crimea as their sovereign territory. However, he avoided addressing the host's question regarding the feasibility of achieving this objective through the ongoing counteroffensive, which has yielded underwhelming results so far. Ukrainian media outlets cited government sources confirming that the strike was launched by Kiev. The SBU, the security service allegedly involved in coordinating the operation with the Ukrainian military, vowed to release further details about the incident after the conflict with Russia concludes. Crimea separated from Ukraine shortly after the 2014 Maidan coup, which led to the removal of democratically elected President Viktor Yanukovych, and subsequently joined Russia after a referendum where the majority of the population supported reunification. Since then, reclaiming Crimea from Russia has been a prominent talking point for Ukrainian officials. Moscow lists 7 conditions for grain deal resumption. The Deputy Permanent Representative of Russia to the UN, Dmitry Polyansky, has stated that Russia is prepared to rejoin the UN and Turkey-brokered grain deal, but only if certain conditions are met by Western nations and Ukraine. Polyansky emphasized that Russia's decision to withdraw from the pact, which aimed to facilitate agricultural exports, should not have been unexpected, as Moscow's concerns had not been addressed. The diplomat underscored the importance of the grain deal for global food supplies and expressed Russia's willingness to consider rejoining it, but with the condition that all previously agreed upon principles of Russia's participation are fully adhered to without exception. Outlined below are the 7 conditions put forth by Russia. Lifting sanctions on Russia's grain and fertilizer exports to global markets in practical terms, not just verbally. Removing all obstacles for Russian financial institutions involved in the agricultural sector, including their reconnection to the SWIFT payment system. Ensuring an uninterrupted supply of spare parts and components for Russian agricultural machinery. Resolving all issues related to vessel freight and insurance of Russian food exports. No impediments to expanding Russian exports of fertilizer materials, including restoring the Togliatti-Odessa ammonia pipeline, which sustained serious damage recently, leading to mutual accusations between Moscow and Kiev. Releasing all Russian assets connected to the agricultural sector. Returning the grain deal to its original humanitarian purpose, alleviating food issues in developing countries, rather than benefiting wealthy nations. Moscow withdrew from the grain deal, describing it as a one-sided game, as none of Russia's long-standing demands had been met. Following the withdrawal, the Russian Defense Ministry warned that any ships heading to Ukrainian ports in the Black Sea would be viewed as potential carriers of military cargo. In response, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry accused Moscow of creating a danger zone in the Black Sea and issued a similar warning to vessels.